In the week when the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party launched a familiar drumbeat to celebrate 11 years in power, the worst aviation tragedy in recent years occurred in Ahmedabad, in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's home state of Gujarat. Over 270 were killed. The country was plunged into grief, outrage, anger, and mourning. Just days earlier, in another shocking tragedy, 4 were killed and several injured after falling from 2 local trains in Mumbai, in Maharashtra. Around the same time, a BBC News Hindi report found that as many as 82 people died in stampedes at the Kumbh Mela earlier this year, against the official figure of 37. Weeks earlier, it had emerged through the government's own civil registration system, CRS data, that official COVID-19 death figures were wrong and the actual death toll was at least 6 times higher. The highest falsification of these figures was in Gujarat, where the COVID mortality rate was 33 times the earlier stated deaths. Whether disseminating fake figures, brushing off aviation calamities with words like "nobody can stop accidents," as Home Minister Amit Shah put it after the AI 171 crash, the only thing the Modi government can celebrate after 11 years is how successfully it has mastered the art of refusing to tell the truth and thereby escaping all accountability, escaping all responsibility. The Modi government does not honor our national motto, Satyameva Jayate, truth alone must triumph. And here is how I came to the conclusion of the untruthfulness of the Modi regime. Under the high voltage advertising and boastful self-promotion, the Modi government is plagued by the MODI syndrome: misinformation, opacity, distractions, and incompetence. After 11 years of MODI, there is very little to celebrate. The government's constant drive for headline management, its pursuit of hype, its industrial-scale disinformation campaigns carried forward by its media and social media armies, its wall-to-wall projection of Modi as some sort of a superhero are obsessive, fantastical, and delusional. This frenzied focus on media management and self-aggrandizement has infused a certain recklessness and shoddiness in all governance systems and institutions. Modi plays a T20 version of politics, forever on the lookout for stage-managed spectacles and well-rehearsed theatrics that grab eyeballs and TV viewership. When the top leader himself is a media showman focused on photo ops, the system down the line becomes negligent and unaccountable and is not incentivized to carry out due diligence at any level or pay attention to detail. The Railway Ministry seems only focused on media images of the Prime Minister flagging off Vande Bharat trains, less concerned with safety and the grim toll of rail accidents that seem to be rising every day. About 244 consequential rail accidents took place between 2017 and 2022. On 12 June, the very same day of the catastrophic Ahmedabad plane crash, a train running from Delhi to Ghaziabad derailed near Shivaji Bridge station, with its 4th coach falling off the tracks. The Modi government keeps trumpeting the opening of new airports, yet hundreds of posts in the civil aviation sector lie vacant, depriving crucial areas of aviation of adequately trained staff. Earlier this year, Parliament was told that staffing shortages are particularly acute at the DGCA, with nearly 48% of its positions currently vacant. The Bureau of Civil Aviation Security and the Airports Authority of India are also operating with 37% vacancies, according to official data. According to data shared by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, 814 out of 1692 approved posts at the DGCA are vacant. Once again, Modi strikes, MODI strikes. Despite glitzy openings, media tom-tomming privatization, the civil aviation sector is infected with misinformation, obfuscation, distraction, and incompetence. MODI, Modi. The Modi-led government has not told citizens the truth about COVID-related deaths, nor told citizens the truth about fatalities at the Kumbh Mela stampede. Even during Operation Sindoor in May, the government displayed a tendency towards willful misinformation, mixed with deliberate opacity on the gains and losses that India experienced during the conflict with Pakistan. The constant inclination of the government is not to inform but to mislead, not to educate but to incite, not to enlighten but to confuse. Modi practices politics like performative art, constantly creating drama that further polarizes society, while television media plays out its own circus, where anchors play the role of ringmasters of lies. Bombast and bluster are unleashed 24/7 to supply online armies and their generals with ammunition to attack critics and dissenters. The opposition is repeatedly denigrated, but an aura of invincibility is created around a prime minister who is always photographed from the most flattering angles possible, always photographed in the best possible light. When top leaders practice performative politics, when those at the very top do not hesitate to tell lies, this culture of MODI percolates from top to the lowest rungs. Preoccupied with only communicating deliriously fantastical images of Viksit Bharat and refusing to tell the truth, glitzy fakery is in danger of becoming the default mode of this government. The only achievement that this government can celebrate after 11 years in power is the unequaled ability to market itself through a captive and irresponsible media and showcase its talent at artful headline management. In 2016, the Modi government bellowed about demonetization as a master stroke against black money. But 8 years later, there is every indication that cash is back in the system. There has been no systematic audit on demonetization's gains and losses. Parliament has still not been told in detail what impact the COVID-related lockdown had on employment and the informal sector, or how many micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, were forced to shut down because of the lockdown. 6 years after the ghastly attack in Pulwama in 2019, citizens still don't know who has been held accountable for the deaths of 40 Jawans of the CRPF. There is no reliable information available on the cases the Enforcement Directorate, the notorious ED, is pursuing, beyond the fact that many of them are against the opposition. But given that most ED cases do not lead to conviction, who in the ED is accountable for what prima facie is a vendetta cum washing machine campaign against the opposition? It's a vendetta cum washing machine campaign. In times when the ravages of climate change are sweeping across the planet, the Prime Minister keeps announcing ambitious climate targets at international conferences. But why has Parliament and the people still not been properly informed on what steps are being taken to protect the environment and push sustainability forward at a national level? The Modi government's campaigns such as Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, plant a tree in the name of your mother, and claims that the scheme has resulted in 80 crore seedlings being planted are hardly enough. Such programs are like childish playthings, tinkering with names and sort of nursery game schemes instead of putting in real research-based policies and disseminating accurate information to the public. Today, India's GDP numbers have been questioned because of a fog of disinformation on the economy. The latest fog of disinformation being the media-hyped headline that India's economy has somehow overtaken the economy of Japan. A more sober assessment of the economy would be to admit that in terms of per capita income, Japan has a per capita income of $33,900, while India's per capita income is a pitiful $2,000. India ranks 143rd in the world in terms of per capita income, while Japan ranks 34th. And India ranks 105th out of 127 in the 2024 Global Hunger Index. Those are the figures. No logical explanation has so far been given either as to why the decennial census, now slated for 2026, was delayed for 6 whole years. The Modi government was economical with the truth on the Pahalgam terror attack. When the Home Minister, told an all-party meeting that the Baisaran meadow had been opened to tourists without police permission. But it was later revealed that no police permission has ever been needed to open the Baisaran meadow, and the place has always been a highly popular tourist spot. The question is, why wasn't it guarded? There is still a mystery over India's declining relations with Canada. What has been the Indian government's investigative response to allegations regarding the murder of Canadian Khalistan supporter Hardeep Singh Nijjar? Has India's deep state been engaged in hiring transnational gangs for extrajudicial encounters of the Uttar Pradesh variety that have ruptured foreign relations with friendly Western democracies? We still don't know. To every question, the answer is the same. Ask no questions. If you ask questions, you'll be called an anti-national, you'll be bullied by online bullies and the government's vast army of cheerleaders and influencers. But the simple yet glaring fact is that the Modi government does not tell the truth. It is a hype machine that wants to rule by diktat and arrogantly conveys that it has no respect for the public's right to know. Interestingly, in a press conference held to mark 11 years of the Modi government, it was BJP President JP Nadda who came out to answer questions. Why? Why should the BJP chief answer questions on behalf of the government? Why should the Prime Minister or the chief executive of the government not take questions from the media? Are we then surprised that India ranks 151 out of 180 in the World Press Freedom Index? There is a disdainful, shallow and narcissistic condescension in the way Modi turns his back on answering questions, either in public or in a press conference. Not a single press conference in 11 years. Modi loves acronyms, but MODI should become a descriptive term for a non-functional and inefficient government. A government which for 11 years has been a regime of M, misinformation, O, opacity, D, distractions, and I, incompetence. MODI.